貼り直しました。はい。はい。すみません。木本さん、これスピーカービューにするガラリービューです。スピーカービューにした方がいい。ギャラリービューにした方がいい。
ギャラリービューにしといて、で、私がピンするから、
OK。OK、じゃあ始めます。
フルスクリーンで。
これでどうですか？Hello. Okay. Can everyone hear us? Okay. 聞こえてるかな? Okay, perfect. Hello, Venkat. Yes, Kimoto-san, can I start? Should I switch to speaker view? Ima gallery view. I'll switch to speaker view. Okay. 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 すいません、お待たせしました. Hi everyone, can you all hear me? I can't see you, but I hope you're all there. Thank you so much for coming to the final presentation for Road to Shine program. As you all know, this is a program co-hosted by Hiroshima Prefecture Government and T-Hub Telangana. This year we had over 1,300 initial registrations, and we chose 5 of the top teams to collaborate with 5 Hiroshima industries. So we're all actually gathered here today in Hiroshima camps, innovation hub in Hiroshima. And we have the prefectural government joining us, all the Hiroshima industries who joined us. And also our mentors are joining us online, and also some guests from T-Hub in Hyderabad as well. So before we begin, I think Hiroshima Prefecture government would like to give a few words. Yeah, Mr. Hasegawa.
はい。Hello everyone, I'm Tatsuya Hasegawa from the Innovation Department of the Hiroshima Prefecture Government. Thank you for participating in the Road to Shine program sponsored by Hiroshima Prefecture and T-Hub. 皆さんこんにちは。広島県庁イノベーション推進チームの長谷川です。この度は広島県と T-Hub で主催をしますロードトゥーシャインプログラムにご参加いただきましてありがとうございます。広島県では世界に知られる平和都市としてあらゆる社会課題の解決を目指すとともに多様な人材が集積して地域から世界を元気にするような新たな事業やスタートアップの創出を推進しています。このプログラムでは文化や習慣の異なる広島とインドの方々が初期の段階から競争することによって革新的なビジネスアイデアの創出や課題解決を図ることができるのではないかと期待をしています。皆さん、今日のデモデーを迎えるまでに多くの時間を使って市場調査やミーティング、プロトタイプの作成を重ねてこられました。その成果をこれからお聞きできることは非常に楽しみです。インドチームの皆さん、このプログラムで広島県に興味を持っていただけていたら、ぜひ今後も引き続き、広島県で素晴らしい技術と英知を生かしてください。広島側の企業チームの皆さん、このプログラムで得た経験と生まれたソリューションを引き続き 新事業として大きく育ててください。私たちとしても今後も皆さんのイノベーション創出を力強く支援していきたいと思っております。今日はありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。Thank you, Mr. Hasegawa. We also have Priyanka from T-Hub joining us, who's the Senior Program Manager. Priyanka, would you like to turn your camera on?
Hi, Kasan. Can you hear me?
Yes. I'm trying to see, is your... Oh.
Yeah, that's me. Hi.
Perfect.
Hi, everyone. Very good morning. This is our second year with Hiroshima government, and this is our second cohort that we are running. And I'm happy to bring in the young innovators from India to Hiroshima through T-Hub. We have been instrumental in a lot of innovation activities in Indian market and, helping the entrepreneurs to move to other geographies. But Road to Shine is one such program where we have brought in young innovators who are like the future entrepreneurs, future startups, future unicorns. I think through this entire workshop, what we try to achieve is to help them in innovation thinking, human-centric approach. And we also help them how to lead through collaboration. And also we have combined their technical knowledge with, tenacity, with confidence, and also how to apply those for a human-centric approach. So I think we did a very good job in last 2 years. We had brilliant ideas coming in, we had brilliant applications coming in, and I'm very happy to be part of this. And all the best to everyone. Over to you, Erika-san.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Priyanka. I know last year we had the presentation at T-Hub.
T-Hub, yes.
We have at Hiroshima, so it's like a good exchange. Yes. Thank you. So we'd like to go ahead and get started with the final presentations. I know everyone was preparing their prototypes until the very last minute, and we asked for a lot for you to also do a presentation. But first, I'd like to introduce Varshita and Sudeshna to participate in the presentation. Let me see. Maybe everyone, if you're not presenting, can you turn your screen off maybe? Is that okay? Perfect. Okay. Maybe, okay. Okay, so Varshita and Sudeshna have been friends since 10 years old. And Sudeshna studies in Australia and Varshita is in Hyderabad. But would you like to go ahead and start with your presentation?
Yeah, sure. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Sudeshna? So we'll get started. Hello, everyone. I'm Sudeshna, a business student at University of New South Wales.
I'm Varshita. I'm an IT engineering student in VNR VJIT Hyderabad.
Sudeshna, sorry, can you speak closer to the mic?
Okay, sure. So the two of us have collaborated with Shinwa Metal and worked with Shintani-san and Okutani-san on a common passion, which is empowering people cornered by a society today. Varshita and I have been working on a passion project to help people with mental disabilities. Our visions matched with Shintani-san, and we were surprised to find a CEO who cared deeply about his employees' well-being. Over the past few weeks, we worked on a goal to create a work environment where disabled employees and companies can understand each other and work for a long term. First, let's establish the context of our project. As part of Shinwa Metal's vision to provide a variety of opportunities for diverse individuals to utilize their strengths, Shinwa Metal has been hiring a number of disabled employees through Okutani-san's organization called Osekai Hojin, which is a third-party organization specializing in finding employment opportunities for individuals with mental or psychological disorders. However, Shinwa Metal has been facing some problems in this process. When disabled employees were hired at Shinwa Metal, many of them ended up quitting or not coming to work for long periods. Initially, we thought that this occurred due to a wrong match between disabled employees and the companies when providing employment. However, we later understood that the root of the problem stemmed from minor misunderstandings on the employee's special needs, such as work style, accommodation needs, and so on. And therefore, we figured out that intervention is required after the matching is done to provide the right support for onboarding in order to ensure the employees stay for a long time. Whenever Shinwa Metal faces the problem of disabled employees quitting, they often relied on Okutani-san to intervene, where Okutani-san conducts one-on-one interviews to get a better understanding of the employees and their needs. In fact, we went through the interviews ourselves and had many insightful discussions. The interview helps reflect on employees' strengths, but it is a manual and time-consuming process. Here is an onboarding sheet currently being used to jot down employees' responses, and we can see that it is very detailed and wordy, because of which attaining important details in a quick overview becomes difficult. So now the question that arises is, how can we collect and effectively communicate the needs of disabled employees to help retain them at Shinwa Metal? After going through numerous brainstorming sessions, we understood the current workflow and identified a few gaps that needed to be bridged. We identified our intervention points by understanding the goals of each stage of the process. Our brainstorming sessions led us to a solution which is twofold: effective data collection and data visualization.
We wish to use Google Forms as a questionnaire to gather and collect information from disabled employees and the people around them, which include care workers, teachers, parents, co-workers, etc., and present this information in an easy-to-understand manner. The most important information to be collected is the employee's strengths and their accommodation needs.
Varshita, so sorry. Can you give us a few minutes?
Yeah,
There
sure.
was some kind of a malfunction on our side. Sorry about that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry, you can continue.
Okay. The initial questionnaire will be used as an onboarding sheet to identify information needed to provide an ideal working environment for disabled employees and understand how to treat them in the workplace. Shintani-san has asked us to collect basic details, accommodation needs, and skill set scores. Along with Shintani-san's requirements, we also focused on elaborate demonstration of skill sets and prioritizing some information over the other. While still figuring out what data to collect, we were also figuring out what tools to visualize the collected data in an easily understandable manner. We wanted to visualize all the collected data in one place. After a lot of searching and looking at many tools like Tableau, we finalized on Google Data Studio because of the familiarity of Japanese companies with Google's suite of tools. Here is an illustration of how we visualized information using Google Data Studio. You can see how we visualized ratings given by different people in the questionnaire using graphs here. Data Studio gives an easy pick and drop method to arrange information from the questionnaire across various sections in the form of a summary. In version 2 of our prototype, we have used Figma to create a dashboard to visualize information from the questionnaire as a quick snapshot to help companies review the information quickly and extract insights. In the future, the ideal way to visualize information is in the form of keywords, which will be extracted using AI and ML algorithms. As you can see here, if a response has lengthy sentences, only the keyword and essence will be picked up and displayed to the companies. After numerous iterations, we have understood how designing our ideal product and testing with users can help develop a product that fits everyone's needs. We also got to see firsthand Shintani-san's passion to create an inclusive future.
Varshita, so sorry. Can you give us a few minutes again?
Yeah,
We're
sure.
gonna switch the connector.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. We switched the adapter. I think we can see. Do you want to go back a few slides, Varshita,
Yeah, sure.
to the data visualization part? Yeah,
From here?
perfect. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So while figuring out how to collect data, we were also figuring out what tools to use to visualize the collected data in an easily understandable manner. We wanted to visualize all the collected information at one place. After a lot of searching and looking at tools like Tableau, we finalized on Google Data Studio because of the familiarity of Japanese companies with Google's suite of tools. Here is an illustration of how we visualized information using Google Data Studio. You can see how we have visualized ratings given by different people in the questionnaire using graphs here. Data Studio gives an easy pick and drop method to arrange information from the questionnaire across various sections in the form of a summary. In version 2 of our prototype, we have used Figma to create an ideal dashboard to visualize information from the questionnaire as a quick snapshot to help companies review the information quickly and extract insights. In the future, the ideal way to visualize information is in the form of keywords, which will be extracted using AI and ML algorithms. As you can see here, if a response has lengthy sentences, only the keywords and essence will be picked up and displayed to companies. After numerous iterations, we have understood how designing our ideal product and testing with users can help develop a product that fits everyone's needs. We also got to see firsthand Shintani-san's passion to create an inclusive future with shifting dynamics between employees and employers. We learned that sensitivities that come with global collaboration, like cultural and technical differences, such as how disability is seen and respected in SMEs in Japan, and familiarity of technological tools like Tableau versus Google tools. The next steps to realize Shinwa Metal's vision is to test the prototype with multiple users, including companies, people taking the questionnaire, and disabled employees. Depending on user feedback, multiple product iterations will pave the way to move on to the technical development, where the end goal is to attain an AI-powered mechanism to automate onboarding of disabled employees and understanding their needs to create an ideal workplace for them. When we first joined Road to Shine, we were excited about collaborating with Japanese organizations, but we didn't know what to expect. Phase 1 was very interesting experience where we learned a lot about user empathization. In phase 2, we worked with Shintani-san and Okutani-san, and their passion to help disabled people motivated us to work hard to create an impact in lives of such people. The entire experience was refreshing, and we learned a lot about Japan and its culture in the process. So we thank everybody that was involved in creating such an amazing journey for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Varshita and Sudesha. I'm going to walk really carefully to Shintani-san because if I move, it might get disconnected again. Okay. So Shintani-san would like to share a few words to thank you on your collaboration. So I think Fumiko-san will pass him the mic. Hi, あそこです。
Varshita and Sudeshna, thank you. 聞こえてる?
Can you hear?
Yes, we can.
I'm very happy to be able to work with you this time. Thank you. Having a common problem that we want to solve each other across country and thinking about solution together was the first experience in my life and a very valuable experience. Also, the reason I wanted to solve the problem was that my friend had a mental illness, which is common with me, and I feel something strange about it. I am looking forward to the day when I can meet them again in the process of advancing this business. ありがとう。
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Varshita Sudeshna. Sorry for the making you stop and re-prepare and things like that. So next, we'd like to move on to the next presentation. Shri and Aisha, would you like to turn your video on? Perfect. So Shri and Aisha, actually, they met for the first time through this program, and they work together on hardware and software solutions with Chudan Engineering Consultants. Would you like to start your presentation? Yeah. Maybe unmute yourselves.
Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah. So good morning, everyone. Today we'll be presenting the Oda River project, our final demonstration for the Road to Shine program. So introducing our team, my name is Aisha. I'm a final year IT student from Hyderabad. And Vaishnavi.
I'm Vaishnavi and I'm a second year student at Vishnu Institute of Technology.
Yeah, and these were our collaborators from Chudan, and we built this with their help and their vision. So identification of our purpose. We had a lot of discussions with Chudan initially about the ideal lifestyles and what they mean for Indians and Japanese people. And then we arrived at a common ground of rivers using river spaces. And these were the following common insights we drew from those discussions. Number one was that cities do not exist without people, and it is important to shape it according to their needs. And secondly, the design of public spaces should allow residents to take ownership of them so that the entire community can enjoy it as an asset. So we realized rivers hold similar significance in Japan and India. For instance, people use it for recreational purposes, floating agriculture, transportation, fishing, livestock, and similar purposes. After having discussions about a smart citizen kit we saw in Barcelona, we proposed the idea of building a water quality sensor because Shri had previously built something similar before. So again, we had a lot of back and forth with Chudan about which parameters would be the most important to sense the river's quality. And we finally arrived at the parameters of pH, dissolved oxygen, total dissolved salts, and the biological oxygen demand. So, Vaishnavi?
Am I audible? So we have come up with a prototype that is very portable and that can be used by anyone. And these are the parameters that we thought were very significant and that can be easily obtained using like the basic sensors. Those parameters are listed here in the slide, Aisha. So this sensor is very simple. You just need to take a pen and dip it inside a water body. So directly it will emit these values into your mobile phone or your laptop or any device you're using. So this sensor kit is highly useful to know how your river body or water body in your city is working. For example, if you want to go fishing, you can know how well the fishes in your city are, where the density of the fishes are good, or how clean your river water is, how healthy your rivers are, or how polluted or how clean your rivers are. So this is a very important aspect when it comes to your well-being or your citizens' well-being, or just to have a recreational activity with your kids or elderly or the people living with and within the areas of the river. Aisha? So this is the basic prototype, and once we eliminate all these wires, and it'll become a very sophisticated model. So the pins and the electrodes here are the ones that goes within the water, and it will be a very small and compact kit. So this is the basic block diagram of the hardware. So the center one is the microcontroller, which acts as the mind of the prototype. It's where we dump the code and we connect the sensors to this microcontroller. These are the sensors which involve dissolved oxygen parametric sensing sensor, the total dissolved salt sensor, the pH sensor, and all these parameters are highly significant in knowing the fisheries or the biodiversity or the pollutants or the cleanliness and the healthiness of the river bodies or the water bodies within a city. So this, can you go back to the slide? So when these parameters are given through this microcontroller, there is a temporary display where you can directly see through an LCD, which can be displayed within a river body or outside the river body where people can see it while they are passing by. And these data is then transmitted to your laptop or your phone through a GSM module, which uses a simple SIM, and this is stored in a cloud service. So next slide, please. And then in that cloud, we are using an algorithm, which is using machine learning and AI, and that can further make things much simpler by making it much user-friendly. And it can also be used in high-end applications that can help researchers and that can help in river cleansing. And this is the key part when it comes to the high implications that the collaboration is involved. So the future scope is compatibility, and the portability and creating awareness are the key aspects that we are looking forward to. And currently it's not very portable. It is a little bit bulky because of all the wires and the batteries and all. So we are thinking of solving it by using capacitors and just soldering it with simple wires and stuff. And compactness, we are trying to make it into a most sophisticated and optimized design. And creating awareness is educating people about how to use this and how it affects the people by changing certain parameters, and how certain parameters are significant in and impacts their lives and health and stuff like that.
So how will we implement this prototype in the Indian context? We realized that in India, as of now, there are no portable sensing kits. So usually water quality monitoring is performed by the government using industrial level tools. So we identified the following key sectors we thought we'd find users in. So number one was aquaculture. So it can be used by farmers to monitor the health of their ponds and their fisheries, and how well their fish is breeding and how toxic their waters are getting. Second was drinking water. So in India, clean drinking water is a big problem for several lower economic communities. So it can be used to ensure, by the citizens, it can be used to ensure whether the water they're drinking is safe for consumption or not. And third was irrigation. So it is important that the water that is being fed to the crops is of good quality, or else it'll lead to a deterioration of the crop, and it can also lead to polluting the water table levels. So our reflection on the program, Vaishnavi, you want to explain the first two?
So this journey is incredible, and it helped us understanding and ideation in terms of user context and pain. And it helped us in exploring differences and similarities between Japan and India. And
Yeah, so we were all working with people we've never met before. And despite all the language barriers and distances, it never felt like we've not, met each other before, because it was such a smooth process. And it was so much fun working with everyone at Juden. And it was also very interesting and informative to learn how to implement a real world project and understand all the measures we need to take to actually deploy a real world project. So yeah, that is
On a
our
side
most
note,
important. Sorry?
on a side note, I'm really looking forward on going to Japan and really work there with all your good
Yes,
collaboration.
we would
It's
love
a
to,
really
we would love
healthy
to
exercise.
visit Japan someday.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shri. Thank you, Aisha. And I think Oda-san from Chudan, yes, has a few words that he'd like to share.
Hey, Siri and Aisha. We are very happy to have met you through this program. In the beginning, we had a hard time deciding on a clear direction for the project, and we may have caused some anxiety due to the fact that the direction took 2 or 3 turns. However, through discussion with you, we were able to see the similarities and difference in the environment and values between India and Japan. And we are able to clarify what we should do. We are surprised when Shui told us that she had made a sensing toolkit before. If this project had been carried out only in Japan, it would not have gone as smoothly as it has. And we hope that this project will become a new business, and we will continue to move forward little by little. We hope we can work through together again if there is an opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, Oda-san. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you, Shri. Thank you, Aisha, for your presentation. Okay, so next we'd like to move on to Nitin, I think. Nitin, would you like to turn your camera on? Okay, perfect. Shri, would you like to turn yours off? Perfect. Okay. So Nitin worked with Kubo-san from Sagotani Farm, and they both shared this passion for sustainable farming. Would you like to start your presentation, Nitin?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Maybe I think you can speak a little louder.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Nitin Kamble. I'm an engineering graduate in the field of computer science. During my graduation, I have worked on interesting projects like social distancing smart ID card and on a concept of drone sanitizer. In my phase 2 of the Road to Shine program, I have collaborated with Kubo-san, who runs a dairy production company called Sagotani Farm, Kubo's in Hiroshima Prefecture. At Sagotani Farm, Kubo-san strives to provide tasty and healthy milk from healthy cows to the consumer. We share a common vision of sustainable farming, and the tutors Ashray and Venkat are the finalists from the last year's Road to Shine program. As Kubo-san and I share a common vision, we defined a purpose for the phase 2 of the program to understand soil components to track progress to shift towards sustainable farming. In the kickoff meeting, we discussed the cultural differences and agricultural issues both in India and Japan. After the discussion, I understood Kubo-san's vision and what they do at Sagotani Farm, and decided to focus on soil sensing because healthy soil can grow healthy pasture for cows, from which we can get healthy and tasty natural milk. Then Kobo-san provided me with a list of components that need to be assessed in soil from his experience and research. And from my research, I plan to use the concept of unique light wavelength spectrometry method to assess all the soil components provided by Kobo-san. In a later meeting, I proposed this plan to the members and got feedback like it's not accurate enough with the feasible technology from Venkat, and Naho-san suggested that it's not necessary for me to go 1 to 100% in a single shot, but rather visualizing the data is more important to get basic idea of the field. And other members explained how accuracy is more important than assessing all soil components. Then I decided to focus on the components of soil that are feasible with the technology and are accurate enough. I came up with a prototype plan that includes sensors to detect macronutrients, pH, electrical conductivity, soil moisture, and temperature. This prototype plan worked well with everyone and decided to continue with this plan. But because of the availability of the sensors, I have to change my plans for the prototype and iterate with only available components. Then finally, I started working on the prototype, which can assess physical elements like soil moisture and temperature, and display the results on a web page. Tutors Ashra and Venkat helped me in building this prototype. Future plans for this prototype is going to be making it more accurate. And I also have made a detailed documentation on how to build this prototype if anyone wants to replicate it in future. Now the agricultural problem in Japan is that soil analysis takes a lot of time because of lab tests, and the soil analysis is not taken at multiple locations as per farmers' requirement. And in India, farmers do not understand the importance of soil components. But the common problem in India and Japan is that there is less use of technology in farming. So the proposed solution is a portable soil component sensing prototype called Sago Health. Sensors collect the information from the soil and transfer it to the Arduino microcontroller. Arduino sends this data to the ESP32 Wi-Fi module with the help of transceiver. From here, the data is transferred to the server via Wi-Fi and the results are displayed on a web page. So Kobo-san can use Sago Health to measure moisture and temperature of the compost. These results will be displayed on the web page from which Kobo-san can make changes to the compost based on the data. Here are some photos of me building the prototype and tutors Ashray and Venkat helping me with the project. You can see Sago Health here in action. Here the sensors in soil, its sender circuit, receiver circuit, sender data, receiver data, and the display results are displayed on the web page. Coming to my insights from the project and the program are, it's difficult to assess all elements and improve soil condition directly with the current technology. But technology can still be used to help document and storytell. I assumed that Japan to be advanced in everything, but I was surprised to see that there are similar problems in India and Japan regarding sustainable farming. As I have understood the importance of accuracy, my approach would have been different while proposing the solution initially. Instead of trying to assess everything, I would have focused on accuracy of the technology and its feasibility. I got to learn so many things while building the prototype, and Kubo-san taught me a lot about soil, and I understood my limits on technology. Working with Japanese people was fun and learned because it never felt like any boring school project. Conversations were interesting and worksheets were intriguing. User research is now everywhere with me, and I understood that almost everyone is able to see, but only few people observe. That's it from my side. Thank you all.
Thank you, Nitin. I know you filmed a very YouTuber-like video that we'll all see later today. But before that, I think Kubo-san, would you like to come up here and share a few words to Nitin? Thank you.
Hi, Nitin.
Hi.
First of all, I'd like to tell my appreciation to you. This few months was really a good time for me. I learned many things. I was first, I learned that India and Japan has same problem about agriculture, and I could know you and me have a common vision about agriculture. It was very good things, and this program was very. I learned many things, and I was very interested. I was very looking forward to see you in the meeting with you. It was a very fun time, and someday you should come my farm and stay my home. Thank you very much.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you, Kubo-san.
Sorry. Furthermore, I'd like to tell thank you to all of India team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kubo-san, and thank you, Nitin.
Thank you.
So thank you. Next, we'd like to move on to Pragna. Pragna, are you there? Perfect. So you have a very interesting journey. With your project, there was no engineering required, but you worked with Hiroshima Economic Report, and we'd like to see what you've come up with.
Thank you, Erica. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, but it's not full screen. Perfect.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Pragna, and I'm currently studying second year of electrical engineering from IIT Hyderabad. In phase 2 of Road to Shine program, I work with Hiroshima Economic Research Institute. Let me start by introducing my team members. Shimazu-san, Ito-san, Shibata-san, and myself, Pragna. So, what was our goal? Our goal initially was to increase the reach of Hiroshima Economic Report. This report is a monthly report published by Hiroshima Economic Research Institute. It contains all the information about large-scale corporate projects in Hiroshima. This report was popular among elder people, and our goal was to increase the popularity of this report among the younger generation. But Hiroshima Economic Report was limited to the paper. Shimazu-san explained that some companies in Hiroshima are hesitant to change. So I got to know this was because small and medium enterprises in Hiroshima don't have a lot of experience working with foreign students or hiring foreigners. This could be because of the language barrier, and there are many other reasons too. The most important thing was that they didn't have any examples to derive inspiration from. We wanted to somehow change this. So we thought if we ourselves could provide an example, so could Hiroshima Economic Research Institute be a start of collaboration of Indian engineers and Japanese companies? We wanted Hiroshima Economic Report to provide new value to the industries in Hiroshima, something which inspires to think of globalization and advancement. We somehow wanted to make global and digital more accessible to everyone. Our goal for Hiroshima Economic Research Institute was to create and report original content based on the collaborations fostered. That is how we decided to conduct an Ideathon for both Japan and India, where the participants would be Hiroshima Industries and Indian engineers. Indian students could benefit from the Ideathon as they get to understand global needs and opportunities. They can connect with companies in Japan. And finally, Indian students also get a chance to showcase their creative ideas. Similarly, the benefits for Hiroshima Industries would be that they get a place where they can directly interact with other companies, discuss about similar problems in their industry, and to get inspiration from abroad and find opportunities for globalization. Now, in our workshops, we started to plan how we will be conducting the Ideathon. Shimazu-san would conduct the Ideathon on Japan side, and I would be conducting it in India. With about 1.5 months remaining, we decided to gear up for conducting the Ideathon. Our main tasks were like deciding the Ideathon theme, collecting Indian participants, deciding incentives for participants, selecting winners, and finally to plan an event for finalists with Hiroshima companies. We finalized that Shimazu-san will be conducting a version of Ideathon in Japan, where companies would come up with real-life challenges that they face in their activities. These would be excellent problem statements for the Indian participants to work with. Shimazu-san conducted this meetup in Hiroshima on November 27th. He gathered 4 companies from the food industry. But what happened was that the challenges they came up with were abstract and difficult to relate with for the Indian participants. Difficult to relate with because food cultures are very different in each country. So consolidating the problem statement was very hard, and abstract because the challenge statements were not prototypable. We had to select a problem statement which had common issues, irrespective of the nation. Food packaging was one such common issue. We all know how excessive food packaging leads to adverse effects for our environment. So our finalized problem statement was, how can we provide new food shipment and packaging services that are more efficient, cost-effective, and sustainable? With the problem statement finalized, we were now ready to conduct the Ideathon in India. I invited students from my college to participate. We had over 20 participants and we found some very inventive ideas. I want to explain the top ideas in brief. One idea was to grow hybrid trees with leaves having properties of both banana and palm leaves. The solution was to heat these leaves so they become very hard and act as packaging material. Another idea was to use sugarcane pulp and mushroom roots to make reusable and biodegradable packaging material. There were many more interesting ideas, and this was what one of the participants said about the Ideathon.
Pragna, can you hear?
Yes, Erika.
Can you hear the video on your end?
Yeah, I can hear the video.
Maybe. Okay, maybe you can skip the video for now.
Sure, no problem. So we observed that most participants in the Ideathon were from design department. They explained their ideas using very good illustrations, making it easier for Shimazu-san to understand them without much effort in translation also. This made us think about how engineers and designers can together achieve very good results. We also observed that most of the ideas had an inclination towards sustainability, but as one would expect, it's not a priority to consider sustainable solutions in business models. Therefore, perhaps discussing back these ideas with Hiroshima Industries could spark some urgency. From now, our future plans are hosting a joint session for both sides, India and Japan, where the winners with the best ideas can present them to the Hiroshima Industries to see how Hiroshima Industries can benefit from the Ideathon and implement the ideas that came up, to also frequently conduct more opportunities for Indian students to apply and develop their skills to real-life solutions globally. The main purpose was to use Ideathons as content for Hiroshima report to spread global trends and eventually making the idea of digitization and globalization a reality. During the last 3 months, It was a very wonderful journey, and it was thrilling to identify the root cause of each problem at every step and finding the best possible solution within a very short span of time. This ability is something that I still need to master. And I must say, working with Road to Shine was an eye-opening experience I can never forget. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pragna. We'll share your video in the chat so we can all take a look at all the participants' input. Thank you so much. And Shimazu-san, would you like to say a few words?
Hello, Pragna-san.
Hello, Shimazu.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you very much, Pragna-san. Thank you for collaborating with us. Ideathon with Indian people was very good experience for me. This was the first time for our company to work on a project with non-Japanese in our 70-year of history. After the Ideathon, I think we were able to come up with an interesting idea. Maybe I could not come up with such a great idea if I did this project only with Hiroshima companies. All the presentation was researched a lot, and I feel these presentations were great. And I learned that different perspective is very important. I hope we can continue this project together. In January, we have another meeting for Hiroshima companies and Indian participants. And after that, I want to discuss how to continue this project. And I hope we can learn each country. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shimazu-san. Thank you, Pragna.
Thank you.
And finally, thank you. And finally, we have Ayush. Are you ready, Ayush? Can you hear us? Perfect. Oh,
yeah.
You're so dressed up. Ayush and Sugara-san actually were two young engineers who directly collaborated. Me and Hiromi weren't there for most of their discussions. So we're very excited to see what they've come up with. Whenever you're ready.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, except it's not on the sharing setting. Yeah, perfect.
Hi, everyone. Konnichiwa. Today, I'm going to be speaking about the tech ecosystem. Let's go over the introduction quickly once. I'm Ayush Dasgupta. I'm a second-year student studying electronics and communication engineering in Gale University, Hyderabad. In my free time, I like to read. I like to listen to music. In Japanese, I love listening to Japanese pop. I love watching movies, shows. I love watching anime. I love reading manga. I also love to travel, and I'm in love with Japanese culture, and I aim to visit Japan someday. Individually, we are one drop, but together we are an ocean. This was said by Ryunosuke Satoru. Teamwork is everything, I believe, and alone we can only do so much. So I introduce the team that I work with. Meet Team Ishihara, led by Masayuki Sugahara-san, and comprises of Kenta Watanabe-san. They are the members I collaborated with in my journey in Road to Shine. So let us have a look at the goal, the context, and our intervention point. The goal is to create a mindset in engineers that will help them survive today's competitive market. So what is the problem right now? In Japan, the problem is that engineers are having difficulty continuing their career over the age of 40. And in India, about 20 to 33% of the graduating engineers are in the risk of ending up unemployed. So the problem lying in both the countries is that the engineers are unable to develop the skills in the current educational curriculum or the job hierarchy. So we found out that in addition to the technical skills that the engineers have, they also need to develop their soft skills, which include time management, flexibility, curiosity, defining problems, among many others. So the intervention point for us as Team Ishihara would be to create a service for young Japanese and Indian engineering students to develop their skills while offering solutions to Hiroshima businesses for their problems. So let us now see how we're going to bring into reality everything that I've mentioned till now. So before that, let me tell you the idea behind Tekboku. Tekboku is derived from the traditional Japanese learning style, like Chiboku, where a student resides with the teachers and they learn from experience and seeing how the teacher performs the task. It's quite similar to the concept of Gurukul in India. So Tekboku system will revolve around the same concept in which the students will be thrown into the environment in an apprenticeship-like internship, and then they will learn from the experience itself so that they can get the skills on the go. So this is how the entire process of Tekboku will take place. So first, interested engineers from India and Japan will be selected. Then the Japanese side will select a company in Hiroshima. Then the the Japanese side will visit the company, and they will identify the problems, conduct interviews, and make a productivity report. Then Team India and Japan will sit down together. They will talk about their productivity report, dissect it, and then they will identify potential solution and intervention points and choose one or more problems to go through. The Tekboku, together, both the teams will now make a prototype that will meet the needs of the company and solve the problem. Then the Japanese side will present this prototype to the company. So for the prototype, we did a demo of the same Tekboku system. Let's see how we did that via using the process workflow I mentioned in the previous slide. So the interested engineers in our case would be me, Sugahara-san, and Watanabe-san. Sugahara-san found a company to work for that was Sagotani Farmer, headed by Kosuke Kubo-san. And so Sugahara-san and Watanabe-san visited Kubo-san's farm. They interviewed him, they collected data and made a productivity report. And then after that, after sitting down and discussing for many days, we decided upon a problem statement, which was to document cows' progress to show Sagotani's shift to free grazing. So how we wanted to go about doing that for prototype was to use social media. So I made a demo Instagram page to give Kubo-san a visual representation of how we wish to promote the farm and his farm and the well-being of the cows. We presented this plan in form of a demo Instagram page to Kubo-san, and we collected reviews. This is a few pics of the visit to Sagotani farm, which was done by Sugahara-san and Watanabe-san. This is a few pics of the prototype that I made. Over here, you'll be able, on the top, you'll be able to see I've taken the cow, Carla, who has walked this much distance, 792.2 kilometers a month. And this is the happiness report. So we're directly linking this to, because we want to show that walking more, free grazing means walking more, and walking more means increase in happiness. And along with that, we have added other data, like which will be uploaded monthly, daily, or weekly, which is weight, amount of food consumed, frequent stories and posts about new cows that were born, or funny videos, pictures, and stuff like that. I'm not a designer, which is why it was very much important for me to get a second opinion. So I received further feedback on my Instagram page from Seisho Manabe-san, who works as head of design at Azina, a Bosch IoT startup. So we took his feedback into consideration and the reviews from Kubo-san, and we decided to improve upon our existing plan. So let us see what are the insights that we gain, because while trying something new, there will obviously be errors, but what's important is that we learn from those errors. Dividing tasks strategically. It is very important to divide the task strategically between Team India and Team Japan. Because if they try to do everything together, then a lot will be lost in translation, not only the language, but the cultural context as well. Involve, inspect, intervene. While studying the productivity report of both Team India and Team Japan, it is important to completely immerse themselves for the Tekboku in the productivity report, and realize that if there's a certain solution which they are supposed to be executing, and if they do not have the skill set, or the team doesn't have the skill set, it's okay to intervene for them and tell and announce another solution for the same problem. Cancel out the dependency. This was an insight again that is very important for the Tekboku, is that they should make the companies independent of that problem, so that even if they face a similar kind of problem in the future, they will be able to solve that on their own. It is more than just engineering. A mistake that engineers can often make is that they will try to solve everything using engineering or technical terms. So that is something the Tekboku should not do. They should be able to divide very carefully what is supposed to be using engineering knowledge and what is not. Let us see what are the future plans and interests of TechBoku, since TechBoku system right now is but an infant. Let's see how it can grow. I believe that TechBoku should be given complete flexibility. So while prototyping, if they believe, if they believe that they are prototyping the wrong solution, they should be given complete flexibility to go back 2 steps, conduct interviews again, and start from square one. So they should be able to go back 1 or 2 steps at any point of the program. Collaborative prototype, this is what I feel is that one of the teams should travel to the other country, mostly Team India to Japan, since they will be prototyping for a Hiroshima company, at least during the prototype stage, because this will ease the implementation process. And I also feel this will increase the quality of the prototype itself. Now comes the reflection of my Road to Shine journey. I've learned so much from the Road to Shine journey, and so much from the TechBoku system itself. I realized there's so much more to being an engineer than what I was taught in the 4 walls of the class or in the educational institutions. And there are so many skills that the engineer requires in today's date that was not taught to us. And that is something I feel was something excellent, or something amazing, and something I would like to deliver to more engineers, Japanese and Indian. So that is why Sugahara-san and I have decided to continue working on this project going forward. I hope you liked my presentation. Arigatou gozaimashita. And Sugahara-san, let's hope that we continue working together from here.
Thank you, Ayush. I know you prepared a Japanese sentence at the end. But okay. Sugahara-san.
Yeah, ここからもうよろしくお願いします。Sugahara-san.
Nice, perfect. Sugahara-san, would you like to share a few words?
Okay, Aish, thank you for joining us. We were kind of a special team that consists mixed company team, and we can communicate directly like this. And also you have some kind of difficulties because we have unshaped problems. So we have to decide and define the problem. What's the problem? And this is exactly the TechBoku is aimed for. And I also respect your attitude to tackle the problems. So you keep trying, finding problems, and keep making prototypes and as fast as possible. So my aim is to introduce the fail fast approach to Hiroshima companies, and also making a prototypeable problem, finding prototypeable problem and realize it. So maybe we can collaborate with other teams, for example, economic report team. And so as that, we have to turn this idea into application. So please, let's keep in touch, and let's talk a lot to realize this idea. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Ayush. So this was all the presentations finished. Now, I don't know if all of you remember Mr. Hideki Segawa from part 1 of the program. Oh, hello, Segawa-san.
Hi. Hi.
But
Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Great.
But he actually had some video lectures for you, and today he saw all your project outcomes. Would you like to share a few comments, Segawa-san?
Okay, thank you very much for everybody.
すいません、瀬川さん、すいません。
Not yet.
日本語でもちょっとご紹介させてください。 パート1、インド側のパート1のプログラムの方でメンターをしてくださった瀬川さんです。去年もがっつりメンターとして関わってくださっていて、今回ちょっと皆さんの最終発表に関してコメントをいただけることになりました。よろしくお願いします、瀬川さん。
ありがとうございます。メンターだけじゃなくて、今年ビデオでの講義を、この2回目のね、R2S のメンバーにやったっていうのが一つあったんですけど。Okay, thank you very much for everyone. I'm very impressed with your all presentation, the 5 presentation. So one of my very surprising thing is very wide topics. Soil and disabled people and water, many things. So, but I want to know the more deeply for each topics and presentation, because today's presentation it's too short. So, but it seems like very interesting topics, and I'm very surprised that you read this topics itself. You could read these topics itself. It's wonderful, so amazing. So maybe you already overcome the many difficulties during this discussion. I want to know what kind of the problem or difficulties, not only just the language barrier, but also culture difference. Many people say the culture difference, but what kind of culture difference you had? So many things that I'm very interested in. But finally, overall, today's atmosphere and the feeling, especially the relationship between Indian team and the Japan team, is so warmful and so friendly. So you already became a very good team. That is an excellent point. So today I found many kind of future opportunities which I haven't recognized so far. So many the future opportunities you can create, especially that you can bring your strengths to India from Japan, or to Japan from India. That kind of the exchanging your strengths, and also sometimes a misunderstanding or difficulties can be very good factor to create a new idea, or to find a new idea, not only just by the same culture, but also with a different culture. Thanks to that different culture, you can have the misunderstanding or difficulties. That is a very innovative thing. So I hope now that you already become very good friend, you understand each other very deeply, but please keep the difference too. So thank you very much. Today maybe we don't have enough time, so I want to continue to collaborate or support you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Segawa-san. Thank you for joining us. Actually, for many of the participants, it was their first time speaking to someone outside of India. So they had a lot of interesting things. They said the Japanese people are very punctual, and they were very surprised as well. Okay, and finally, we have some closing remarks from Shigeta-san. Shigeta-san, I'm not sure if you can turn your screen on, but oh, hello. So, プログラムのディレクターのインフォブリッジの代表の重田さんからも、クロージングの挨拶をお願いしています。よろしくお願いします。
So, thank you very much for joining all the program and between Hiroshima and India. So, India and Japan, so we have some kinds of the different characters. Suppose what I say, so the perfection in Japan and the jugaad in India also. But I strongly believe the collaboration over this kind of the diversity can create the innovation. But unfortunately, due to the COVID, so we could not go to Japan. But I feel all kinds of all of the participants, you learn something from this program. So it is happy for us. So right now, not only because of the COVID and or including the digital technology or whatever, so society is changing. And also, and we have the responsibility and to create our own future for even for next generation as well. Also, and nowadays, and not only from Japan, but from all over the world. So the company or industry, so they are attracting the Indian talents and attracts and these kinds of the companies and or something. So I think if you can challenge and whatever the new opportunity to utilize and this and cross-culture experience. So it is great for your future as well. And fortunately, next year is the 70 years anniversary year between India and the Japan friendship. So maybe we may have some kinds of more programs between Japan and India. So if you can learn or you can understand more about Japan or the Japanese and the experience. So it is great for us. So finally, thank you very much and for joining and this kind of the program. And also thank you very much for the all of the T-Hub teams and the Hiroshima teams. Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation. Now we're coming to an end, but before we go, maybe do you want to all turn your video on and we can all say bye or hi at the same time? Hi, Ashray. Hi, Nitin.
Hi.
Hi, Sash. Oh, hello, Masa-san. Hi, Shri. Okay, so maybe we can take a picture. Shall we take a picture? I'll take a screenshot. Okay. And I think that maybe Hiroshima 企業の皆さん、あそこのカメラをご覧いただいていいですか？はい。Okay. Okay. 3, 2, I'm going to try to, oh, hello, Priyanka. 1, smile. Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Sorry we ran a little bit late. So now we'd like to continue with the Hiroshima presentations, but to the Indian participants, thank you so much for your hard work and we'll be in touch soon. Bye. Maybe this way. Hello. I don't know if you can see me. Bye. See you. ありがとうございます。Thank you, Venka, as well. Bye. Thank you. 瀬川さんも抜けちゃいましたね。
抜けてない、抜けて、いや、います、います。はいはい。
ありがとうございました、瀬川さん。今からちょっと10分程度の休憩を行って、同じ Zoom で、広島企業の方々からのプレゼンを行いたいと思います。ありがとうございました。Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Venka. So we're just going to set up for the next presentations, but thank you for joining us. How were the presentations? Good.
Yep. The presentations were great. Like I can see the shine on like each participant, and like the most important thing, the exploration, what they have found. I think that's achieved. So yeah, this is what I was expecting, like from each of the participants, and this is what even we have gone through. So yeah, this is going to really help them a lot, for sure.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for helping, especially with Nitin. And we really appreciated your support. Hopefully one day you'll be here, all of us. And
yeah,
we'll see you
so.
soon. Okay, we'll be in touch soon. Thank you, Venka, Ashray.
Yep, thank you. Bye-bye.
後ろに、神戸から、新谷チームで参加してくださっている皆さんがお菓子いただいているのと、あと皆さん、お一人お茶かお水1本ずつありますので、休憩に取ってください。 ではそろそろ再開します。では後半の広島編再開するので皆さんご着席お願いします。やっと折り返し地点で今日は折り返しなのであと3分の2ぐらいありますかね。はい、お菓子をいただいて、はい、皆さんの脳がバッテリー切れを起こさないように適宜、はい、お願いします。それでは、次は、後半戦として広島の企業さんの方からプレゼンテーションをお願いします。はい。で、今日の本日のアジェンダをちょっとこちらに書いてるんですけれども、改めて今日、企業の皆さんにプレゼンテーションを聞いていただきたい方にお声掛けをして、外部からや、社内の中からご参加いただいているということもありますので、まずは簡単にこのロードトゥー社員というプログラムについてのご紹介をプログラムのディレクターよりさせていただきます。で、そこから今回なぜインドなのかっていうことが疑問に思われている方もいらっしゃると思いますので、先ほども出てくださったんですが、今インド在住の